is a presentation of HBO Sports.
November 22nd, Manny Pacquiao returns to Macau, China. This time not against rugged brawler Brandon Rios, but against fleet-footed boxer Chris Algieri. Let's see what this fight looks like under the lights. I'm joined by Tim Bradley.
How you doing, Max?
How are you, Tim? You fought Manny Pacquiao 24 rounds.
Absolutely.
And Virgil Hunter, trainer, among others, of maybe the most well-rounded fighter in the sport, Andre Ward. Virgil, welcome.
Max, my pleasure being here.
Thanks for coming. So, Pacquiao Algieri. People don't know who Algieri is. We're going to get to that in a second. They think they know who Pacquiao is or who he was, Tim.
Right.
You fought him both before and after the Marquez knockout.
Right.
What's the difference?
Well, the Pacquiao of today, after the knockout, is a little bit, I want to say a little bit more, he's more of a thinking Pacquiao now. He thinks before he does now. Before, he used to come in there aggressively. Nowadays, he's not that way anymore. You know, he just don't come in there reckless, throwing a gang of shots. He's actually thinking now and planning his attack now.
Virgil, you agree with that from the outside looking in?
In some respects, I do. You know, there's an old saying in boxing, when you see the sawdust, the meal is not far away. And your brain computes a knockout like that. You never forget it. And I think that if he was in his early 20s and fought on, at some point it was fade from his memory. But where he is at this stage in his career, I think he really does have to be cautious, because you don't have the capacity to absorb a punch like that anymore.
So this is the aggression that led to, or the over-aggression that led to, the knockout against Marquez. You guys describe what you see here. What do you see here, Tim?
Well, I see Pacquiao actually trying to go in there for the kill, but Marquez is a game opponent. So watch, you'll see him do his double feint.
And Marquez had the right-handed counter.
Right-handed counter.
Ready for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Pacquiao likes to do a double feint or a one feint and then throw, and then come with the left hand behind it. And Marquez knew that going in. He knew that going in, and he was able to capitalize on it.
Since then, Pacquiao has fought a couple times and has beaten a couple good fighters.
Right.
One of them sitting here.
Including myself.
And yet you're saying he doesn't quite look the same, that he's lost some of that aggressive edge since the Marquez knockout. Think that had anything to do with this right hand that you hit him with early in the fight?
I landed that right hand because I took on that left hand. I wanted to take on his left hand. So most of the time, guys try to pull away from the left hand or get out of the way of the left hand. What I did was I kept my high guard. I caught him on an angle, actually. He was pulling out on an angle, and we worked on that shot because Pacquiao likes to spin out. He likes to spin out to his right side a lot. And so when Pacquiao, I'm gonna get up and show you. So when Pacquiao's approaching sometimes, he approach, you know, he throws combination, and he likes to spin out this way and get out through the back door, okay? So when I was here, I know that that's what he's gonna do. When he shot his shots, I went here, and then I went here, and I met him. And that's what surprised Pacquiao. And that's why I was able to hit him with that shot. It wasn't because he wasn't cautious. It wasn't because of that. It was because there was a particular shot that I know because Pacquiao likes to move on angles, and I knew it would be there.
So you're telling me that Pacquiao still has the footwork?
Oh, absolutely.
Even between the first and second fights, you said some things changed, but not that?
Not that. He's a smart fighter. He's been in there with everybody. But his footwork is like no others. I mean, he spins around here, man. And when you turn here, then he's back over here on this side of you. And he's throwing punches as he's moving.
Still with the good feet. You're against Brandon Rios. Now, you were on the ropes in the second fight.
You don't want to be on the ropes against Manny Pacquiao. Absolutely not.
Here it is. What you doing on the ropes, Tim?
Well, the intensity of the fight, I was a little bit tired. And
now, see,
trying
actually,
to make a miss.
Here, your hands are down and you avoided the shots.
Yeah.
Over here, your hands are up and you're getting hit with more of those shots.
Yeah, that's what happens, especially when you have the earmuffs on.
Now, if you notice, Manny's in front of him where he missed all these punches, and Tim's hands were down.
Right. Here's the first one.
Here's the first one. Now, he's in front of him, see? he's in front of him, so he's down. Now he makes the adjustment, the second flurry, and he goes to the side on the angle, you see? So Pacquiao is showing that he's making the adjustment to overcome the knockout because he attacked when he was out of danger, but he attacked on an angle where he could hit Tim with harder shots, but he couldn't get counted because Tim was literally squared up facing this way.
Let's unpack that because there's a lot there. So first you mentioned the earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
You mentioned when you had the earmuffs on, it was hard to see the shots.
It's hard to see the shots come. He stepped to my right side.
Right.
You can see on the clip here, he steps to my right side, throws the right hand, lands it, and then the flurry combination is right behind it. And he's going in between the guard and around the guard. In between the guard and around the guard to open my hands up.
Stepping to the side,
yeah,
out of the line of fire.
Out of the line of fire.
Now, I bring this up because Algieri sometimes will put those earmuffs on. And he did that against Provodnikov early in the fight, and the result was a knockdown. Here's Algieri with the earmuffs on the ropes.
On the ropes.
And there's the left hook. Of course, his right hand came down at that moment, but he couldn't see. Is that right, Virgil? You agree with that?
Most definitely. He made a fundamental mistake by throwing the right hand. If you can see it here, he comes with a short up and he leaves himself open. And going square along the ropes. Just later on, he turned and made the angle so he's not getting hit with that punch. And if he does get hit with it, he's breaking the impact of it. So he learned from it early, and he corrected his mistake.
You know, a guy like Marquez, he always had punching power, especially in recent years, but he's always had punching power.
Always.
Even though you're not known as a puncher, you're a big, physically strong guy. I don't know if that's the case with Algieri or not, but what it does seem to me is that he hits you accurately enough and with enough snap, especially on the jab, to snap against Provodnikov, snap his head back, which forces Provodnikov to take that half step back to get on balance, and then Algieri slips out. Here we see some examples of that, where you wouldn't think that Algieri would, but there it is, have the power to keep Provodnikov off, but like Provodnikov's body has no choice. The head's going back. He's got to get it back on balance.
Absolutely.
Well, when a jab hits you like that, Max, people don't realize it's a whiplash. And you begin to get nauseated, disoriented, your reflexes slow down because your head is going straight back. When you get hit from the side, if you see the punch, you have the traps and everything else, and the neck work comes into play. And you're able to cushion and absorb, but nothing stops the neck from going back and snapping back here.
And that's the kind of jab Algieri has?
That's the kind of jab he's demonstrating right here, a snapping jab, and it hurts, and it's powerful, trust me.
And that takes a degree of accuracy.
It takes a degree, accuracy is everything in boxing.
Tell me what you think about the accuracy of Algieri's shots here against Provodnikov.
Right hand.
There it was again, right, Virgil? His head.
Yeah, but look at the difference. He's throwing the right hand, but it's not snapping his head back. You see the difference? Watch. He landed a real good right hand here, and it does not snap his head back. And the reason why is his back leg, he kept it back. He didn't bring it forward. If he'd have brought his right back leg forward, we might have had a different fight here. But he just leans forward, see? So his head never moves back.
Nope.
You see? Because he left his back leg in the bucket. Right there, he had his legs under him. So it snapped his head back. You see, his legs are under him. So it's a much more effective punch.
And it creates just enough distance for him to slide out and keep doing what he does.
Slide out and keep doing what he's doing.
And it goes to his positioning. And even though I'm on this show, I hate to show stuff, right? But I'm going to show HBO today. And if Tim
all right.
up,
yeah,
okay?
There we go.
It goes to his positioning, Algieri. So Pacquiao is left-handed, right? Now, if I stand here like Algieri's doing a lot with Provodnikov, and right here a lot like he's doing, you notice his left hand is pointed to the ground, right? He's got his right hand here, his left hand's pointed to the ground. So Pacquiao has nothing to stop him from coming to that space with a step. Half a step, maybe one step. If Algieri is here, he tries to step over, Pacquiao's right hook catches him over the top, right? Just coming over the top because he's got good feet. When you have a guy who's got feet like Pacquiao, you have to point the gun. If I got the height, I have to come here, see? Now you have to get through this.
Yeah.
You have to get through the first line of defense. And then you have to get through the second line of defense, right? Here's the third line of defense. I got 3 lines of defense. Now, Pacquiao wants to hop all over the ring. You just keep it pointed. No matter where he goes, you just keep it pointed. And you're going to find him doing just like that. And if he's disciplined, pow, pow, and stay right under here, he's going to cause you some problems. I don't care how fast he is with his feet. If I keep that on you, wherever you go, with my reach and height, he could tell from a fighter. He's trying to figure out what and down where he is not up.
Yeah.
Where you can come over the top,
right.
Where you come over the top, but down, you have to come through me.
So you're talking about tactical changes that Algieri has to make, because he was able to control the distance against a guy like Provodnikov, who doesn't have the feet that Pacquiao has, who has to set before he punches.
I don't think he controlled the distance. I think he mastered the angles, because he never kept Provodnikov off of him.
Mm-hmm. Algieri's earned this shot. You know, beat Emmanuel Taylor, who you just saw against Bronner. He's a good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And Algieri beat him. Came into that fight as the underdog, beat him fair and square. Provodnikov, it's a close, tough fight, but got up off the deck early, you know, from a beating. Got up, fought a disciplined fight, controlled the rest of the fight, and won the fight. He's earned this shot.
Oh, absolutely.
Against Pacquiao.
Oh, absolutely.
What about that, Virgil? He wasn't handed this opportunity. He had to earn it.
Absolutely. If you heard some of Algieri's earlier interviews before he fought Provodnikov, he was very confident. And I think after that fight, he spoke with you and sort of put pie back in your face, right? Because you just couldn't see it at the moment. I think he said that right there in that ring. Do you believe in me now? Right? So he believed in himself before that fight started.
Is there anything in Algieri that you see, given his background, given the fortitude he showed in Provodnikov, that tells you, Virgil Hunter, that there's potential greatness there, that he could upset Pacquiao?
Of course. If he wins the fight, I won't think it's the second coming of whatever's coming. I think that I would not be surprised at all. There are a lot of things coming into play. We have to consider the wear and tear. We have to consider, can Manny even get up for this fight?
Good point there. Very good point.
Consider, can he get up for this fight? We have to consider Algieri's focus, his discipline. He's got momentum. He has momentum. We can't take that away from him. He's just not somebody just been selected off the scrap pile over there.
Right. This guy truly earned it.
He truly earned it.
Truly earned it.
So he has momentum.
It seems that Algieri here has chances, that we believe that there's something about him, the internal stuff and some of the external stuff, that gives him chances. But that's different than saying you think he's going to win.
It is. It is different.
Who do you think's going to win?
Honestly, I think after watching tape on Algieri, I think he's going to give Pacquiao a lot of problems, especially with his movement and his range. And if he's able to control that distance, he's gonna give Pacquiao problems. But I think Pacquiao is smart enough to make the adjustment and to be able to find Algieri and hit him with some big shots and possibly hurt him. So I'm picking Pacquiao in this fight.
Tim, Virgil, it's been a lot of fun. Appreciate it. Thanks for
thank you for having us.
Coming on and chopping it up under the lights.
Champ.
Oh, yeah.
Good seeing you again.
Absolutely.
It's been great.
And on November 22nd, Manny Pacquiao and Chris Algieri face off under the lights. Thanks for being with us.